Now we're going to talk about the professional rider collections that Partre distributes by Metalab. Now Metalab has been working with several different riders over well over 20 years now. We work with everything from professional Olympic riders to professional rodeo riders or professional reiners and reining trainers. The ones that we have here today that work in the rodeo industry are Walt Woodard and Tyler Magnus. Now Walt Woodard and Tyler Magnus are two staple names in the roping rodeo world. Everyone that ropes or knows anything about horses knows who Walt and Tyler are. These two guys are very detailed in their horsemanship and the way they design their bits. So here at the show, we've been getting a lot of people asking questions about your bits, and one of the things that they all want to know is which one is your favorite, if you had one.
It's really hard to say because it depends on the age of the horse. That's what's so nice about my collection. You know, we have bits that it's a steady progression all the way through the system. So the bit that I use the most is a little bit called a smooth 1x1. You know, it's 1 inch high and it's 1 inch wide, and it doesn't hit the roof of their mouth, but it puts pressure on the side of their tongue and the top of their tongue, and the bars in the corners, and then the finer chin strap works underneath their jaw. So I use that a lot. That's the bit that I rode on Blueberry and won Houston on, set the record there. And then now I've migrated up to that. As he's gotten a little bit older, it's just called a smooth 1x2, puts a little bit more pressure on the roof of his mouth, and so that's where I'm at now. So that's what I like about this collection. I can move up or down depending on what my horse feels like.
We also work with Emilie Veillette. She's a young and up-and-coming barrel racer. She's very detailed about her bits as well. She knows exactly how her horses like to go, and she has come up with a really good collection for us to offer for you as well. And then we work with the professional reining family. It's the Gauthier family. There's Francois Godier, and he's turned it into a whole legacy. He's got 2 kids. There's Gauthier and Jonathan Godier. All 3 of these guys work together. They've always rode together, trained together, and they have a wonderful reining collection that all 3 of them take part in. If you want more information about any of our riders or the other collections that we have to offer regarding other riders, then please visit partre.com or our YouTube page for more informational videos. So now I'm here with Jonathan Godier, and he's going to tell us more about his and his family's collection.
Well, I've been working with the FG collection ever since I started training horses, and I know that my dad has been working closely with Metalab designing these bits since over 20 years, and those bits are still some of the most used bits in the Western industry all over the world, and that really fascinates me. And I think that's because the designs behind those bits is just really made for the horse and friendly for the horse, especially with the newer collections that they're coming up with, such as the Comfort collection or spring-loaded bit or leather-covered bits. And I've tested thoroughly these designs and these systems, and it's amazing how you can just, you know, design bits that are softer in the horse's mouth, but just by the shape and how they're built and how they're designed, their functionality are 10 times more effective than a bit that would have a longer shank or a higher port. So working closely with a company that develops systems that are friendlier to the horse yet very effective and functional, for me is a win-win all the way.
So now why don't you tell me a little bit more about your personal collection?
Well, my personal collection is fairly simple. I mean, there are so many bits from the FG collection that I've been using throughout the years, but there are those 4 bits that to me for young horses are ideal and are a perfect progression from snaffle to a slightly higher port bit. So I've used my 4 favorite ports from the FG reining collection, and we added my personal design shanks on it, which I think is the type of design that works best on young horses. And as far as my spurs go, well, there's a lot of spur designs and types of spurs out there, and I felt that the only thing that the industry was lacking was a collection of spur that goes from shorter shank to longer shank and softer rowel to sharper rowel, because I believe that with the amount of differences that different horses that are out there, skinny, fat, lazy, or feely, you should be changing spurs just as much as you change bit on horses and adapt to how they are. So I figured if I came up with a collection of 3 spurs that allowed me to do that, I think that then we would definitely be bringing something different and better to the industry.